to the stage your 3D Experience World 2024 host, Tracy Wilson.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, in this session, the team is going to dive deeper into the new and upcoming capabilities of Solidworks that provide the tools users need to imagine a better future together. So please welcome Manish Kumar with Bruce Holloway.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy, and welcome back, everyone. As promised, we are back with some great news. We will take you through a deep dive through collaborative design process and give you an overview of the amazing things that we have been doing of late. Now, we will take you through both the flavors of SolidWorks, with the platform and on the platform. But before we even get started, let's have a brief conversation with my friend Bruce here. Bruce, a very serious question for you. Didn't you make fun of my coding skills last year?
Well, I never really said that you weren't a good developer. I simply pointed out that the current drawings team are better, maybe.
And you did it again, right? Where will you hide now?
Thank God for the new work from home policy we got there.
Anyways, we'll see what to do with you. Tell us what you have got for us today.
Let's look at performance, because we took a new approach. You probably know every year we focus on improving the slowest operations, and we typically make big improvements. So users are delighted when they hit those areas. Well, we continued that effort this year, but we also looked at workflows that are most common to all users and focused on improving them end to end. That's what you're looking at on the screen right now. We looked at typical areas like assembly modeling, drawing and detailing, configurations, etc. And on average, we got roughly 30% faster. So now your average user should experience a significant performance improvement.
What do you think about that?
Now for the enhancements. And we have some great news, because now we put them in service packs throughout the year. You no longer have to wait for a major release. You'll find a bunch in every SP. For example, we released the step import filter in SP1. If you've ever had to import a huge step file just to use a small part of it, you're going to love this enhancement. Now, upon import, you quickly get a full assembly tree and optionally a graphics preview from which you can select just what you want. And then boom, you get just that portion imported. Saves a ton of time, and it's there in SP1. But this next one is really cool. We've always had great assembly features, but they only remove material. There are times when you want to add material. For example, modeling weld beads as actual solids, or thick coatings as a solid offset. In 2024, we implemented an alternative way of creating assembly features. You can now have a twin of your assembly in the form of a multi-body part with full associativity. So think about it. This means you can effectively add part features to an assembly. Any part feature, ribs, curves, combine, intersect, you name it. So I think people will find a million ways to use this enhancement. Next, drawings. Sometimes you end up with dangling dimensions. For example, if you delete a feature, a face, or an edge that was referenced by a dimension. Now with our improved workflow, reattaching dangling dimensions is easy and it really works perfectly every time. In fact, this stuff is so robust, you can reattach any dimension. It doesn't have to be dangling, so you can repurpose an existing dimension. We also improved chain dimensioning, so all the dimensions stay collinear as you add them. If it gets too crowded as you're adding a dimension, one pops above with a leader that stays consistent with the standard. But my favorite enhancement, now you can save SOLIDWORKS models back to an earlier release, complete with features. So they're true native models, as if you created them in that earlier release. Now users on different releases can work seamlessly back and forth, editing back and forth. Here you can see a sheet metal part saved back to 22, so the manufacturer has access to all the features, including the flat pattern. Of course, we will continue to add new features to SOLIDWORKS, so we've provided a handy tool to identify any feature incompatible with the previous release so you can deal with it. I'm going to tell you, it's amazing how well this stuff works. It's rock solid. Those are just a few of the enhancements in 2024. For more info, check out the What's New videos on solidworks.com, and also check out the What's New right from inside SOLIDWORKS help. All of our enhancements are driven by our user community. So come to the Top 10 presentation on Wednesday afternoon, and you'll see we implemented 35 directly from the Top 10 survey this year.
Thanks, Bruce. And we'll review that work from home policy for you especially, right?
Thank you.
Let's see if you can continue. By the way, Bruce comes to work every single day, so it's a joke. And at this point, I would like to invite Sally Alani, who is going to come with Kevin Hopkins and Sam Melo to talk about SOLIDWORKS with the platform. Come on, Sally. And if you didn't recognize him in this nice clothes, he's the guy who has challenged product definition team. So Bruce and team, they're under fire.
I'm ready for it.
Dance off.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Bruce. Those were some amazing enhancements. Kevin, you are our very first SOLIDWORKS customer who adopted the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Can you tell us more about yourself and Square Robot?
Yes, I'll certainly. Square Robot specializes in manufacturing battery-powered robots that are submerged in operational fuel storage tanks. Our robots conduct inspections of the tank floor to identify corrosion and integrity issues. I'm the lead mechanical engineer overseeing the design and construction of our robots, and also manage a team of mechanical designers who extensively use SOLIDWORKS and the 3DEXPERIENCE platform.
Sounds great. That seems to be a very complicated model you have over there. Just out of curiosity, how many components in that design?
It's around 4,000 to 5,000 parts.
And how is your experience saving such large data set?
Saving large data sets is definitely time consuming.
Let me tell you and others who have been in a similar situation like you. Last year, we introduced asynchronous save that helps improve save performance. You can now smoothly save your large data set on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform on the fly, ensuring uninterrupted design progress. This new saving approach lets you seamlessly continue your work as save happens in the background. This means your SOLIDWORKS session is no longer blocked during save to give you the freedom to continue your work while keep track of the save status. I'm in fact proud to even claim that saving to the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is almost as fast as saving to your local PDM. Sam, you are an existing SOLIDWORKS customer, and you are one of our newest customers on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Tell us more about yourself and Coyton Hughes.
Thanks for inviting me. Coyton Hughes is an aftermarket manufacturer of plastic and rubber consumables used in nut harvesting equipment. We're located in Modesto, California, which is right in the middle of where 90% of the world's nuts are grown. The company was started in 2009 after the founders worked 30+ years for other companies in the nut harvesting business. They started making and selling nut rakes out of their garage as a side business. Since then, the business has been on an upward trajectory, and they hired me right out of college in 2016.
So you helped keep those almond milk latte flowing for all of us. Thanks for doing that. Feeling thirsty already, but I'll save it for later tonight. So can you tell us how Coyton Hughes got started using SOLIDWORKS?
When Coit & Hughes started about 10 years ago, SolidWorks PDM was identified as a must-have to manage their SolidWorks data and to not store it on local machines. I started using SolidWorks at Cal Poly, so I was already trained when I was hired.
So, all right, you use SolidWorks and SolidWorks PDM to manage your data. What motivated you to move to the 3DEXPERIENCE platform?
With our previous setup, we started having frequent connection issues to our hosted server because it was getting old. So we either needed to upgrade the server at a significant cost or potentially choose a cloud solution that could propel us for future growth. The benefit of being able to connect to our data from anywhere, anytime, from any device would be a huge boost in productivity for us. When we heard that you have a new migration service available to move our PDM data to the cloud on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, it was the perfect timing for us. We worked with our local reseller, Hawk Ridge Systems, who did most of the work to help us migrate. They ran a few test scenarios and then did the final migration just a few days ago to our production tenant. And overall, it was a pretty smooth process.
That's great. The reseller used a new tool we developed for them called 3DEXPERIENCE Transition Assistance. This tool enables transitioning not only SolidWorks file and PDM, but also revision level, metadata, workflow states, and more. Sam, we look forward to hear how Coit & Hughes utilize the 3DEXPERIENCE platform and connect everyone and collaborate better. Thank you for sharing your story. Kevin, back to you. Do you use SolidWorks configuration when you design your model?
Can't live without them.
Okay, so let's do a quiz here. Look at the example on the screen over there. So these are different sizes of servo motor model. Would you use configuration for them?
Of course, yes.
Are these different item numbers for you?
Of course.
So these item numbers can evolve independently, right? With their own life cycle.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you're doing good. Let's look at another one. So these are 3 cabinets. They are all the same, but the position of the door is in different location. It's basically closed. As you can see, it's partially open and fully open. Will you use configuration for those?
Of course, yes.
Okay, now comes a trick question. Are these different item numbers for you?
Actually, no. They're the same item number for me.
Will they have their own life cycle?
No, they shouldn't. Configuration is not always a unique item, but at times they are. It's really confusing.
Believe me, you're not alone. Even I'm confused at times. And we have now resolved this confusion. Configurations are used for creating variations of products. At times, these variations unique physical products. At times, there are just different representation of the same physical product. To resolve this confusion, we introduced the concept of representation last year. So you can create physical product for unique item numbers, as shown in the example of the motor on the left. And you can create a representation to show visual or just difference in the position of the same physical product, like the example in the cabinet on the right. So to learn more or to get more detailed explanation on this topic, I encourage you to visit our Solid Practice page by scanning the QR code on the screen.
So this is interesting. But I have a lot of existing data with configurations already in it. What if I want to use the representation approach on my data?
Of course, we have something for you. We've built in intelligence to automatically identify a representation. For example, flap pattern is just a representation and not a configuration. With the task scheduler, you can automate the process of going over your existing data, identifying and marking those configurations as representation. We believe in making your design journey simpler and more efficient. Kevin, when you are in the design phase, how do you get feedback from your internal and external collaborators?
We are heavily dependent on screen sharing and email exchanges. A lot of our time goes in highlighting changes and explaining it to people on the shop floor.
I totally hear you, man. Let me show you something. Last year, we introduced the ability to share your 3D design with anyone directly from within Solidworks and get instant feedback on the fly. This makes working together much simpler and easier, as your colleagues can view, markup, comment on your designs directly from their mobile devices without the need to install any software, all within the browser. It helps accelerate your product development process. And even as a designer, you don't even have to leave your Solidworks. Tell me, isn't that cool?
This is very appealing. You know what, Sal? I'm going to test it with my folks on the shop floor.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Sam. Please give a big round of applause to Kevin and Sam. And of course, that's not all. The 3DEXPERIENCE platform offers access to cutting-edge PLM capabilities. Connecting to the 3DEXPERIENCE platform provide an entry to the complete works portfolio, allowing seamless manipulation of the entire model, efficient management of the bill of materials, and successful implementation of change management process to your organization. You have the ability and the flexibility to scale up at your preferred pace. For many of you, 2D drafting is a big part of the design process, whether it's a final deliverable drawing or just a rough layout sketch. These drawings can help you figure out how things fit together, how much space things need, and even how will they move, how will they work when you move them around. We talked to Anthony Fetting from Unisec the other day, who is passionate about how DraftSight, our 2D design tools, underpins his business. He told us how brainstorming in DraftSight saves him a lot of trouble later on when he's designing it in 3D. DraftSight let him test out different ideas, get quote figured out quicker, and that helps his business grow. 3DEXPERIENCE DraftSight is the ideal tool for everyone who needs fast, easy 2D drafting together with a safe, secure location for all your design data, with the tool to enable cross-team collaboration. The 3DEXPERIENCE platform becomes the single source of truth for your design team. It reduces communication errors and it promotes accelerating team efficiency. But we all know when you work on a project, sometimes things get messy. When you're out in the field designing stuff, plans change, things break, and suddenly your perfect drawing is no longer perfect anymore. To meet this challenge, I'm thrilled to tell you about the upcoming launch of DraftSight Creator, a brand new web-based tools for 2D drafting. It's going to make drawing and creating the plans a whole lot easier. With DraftSight Creator, design team can now work on DWG drawing from any device, no matter where they are. Just say goodbye to being stuck in the office and lugging around heavy laptops. What you've just witnessed here in terms of enhancement is just the tip of the iceberg. From performance to assembly features, saving to the previous revision, and even precisely defining a representation. We're not afraid to make a significant architectural changes to meet your needs. We also ensure that you can easily bring your existing data to the platform and meet all your collaboration needs within and without or outside your organizations. There are close to 300 breakout and hands-on sessions for you this week to explore. So that was it for my update on SolidWorks with the platform. Yesterday, you heard about the amazing partnership between Dassault Systems and Cadence. To get deeper insight into that, please welcome me back on the stage, Manish Kumar and Sagat Sen from Cadence.
So, no dance move for right now.
Okay.
We'll see it tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Great job, Saleh. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm back. I'm like a bad penny, they say. That you cannot get rid of me. Please let me introduce you Sagat Sen, the VP of R&D for Cadence Design Systems.
It's indeed a pleasure to be here today. Good morning, all.
Now, you know that Cadence is a giant in electronics design industry, known for their outstanding ArcadX and AllegroX PCB design software, and we are here to take you through a deeper dive into this partnership that we just announced yesterday. Now, it's a great day for both SolidWorks and Cadence. Our partnership is more than just a collaboration. It's a fusion of expertise. It revolutionizes how mechanical and PCB design teams are going to work together, right?
Absolutely. We at Cadence are truly excited to connect our software so deeply into SolidWorks through the innovative 3DEXPERIENCE cloud platform. This presents a transformational experience for our mutual customers.
And you know what? Everyone here knows about SolidWorks. So how about you take us through Cadence? Can you tell us more about Cadence?
Sure, Manish. Cadence is the leader in electronic design automation. We develop AI-powered software tools for printed circuit board and semiconductor design and analysis. Like SolidWorks, ArcadX and AllegroX are used by electrical engineers, tens and thousands of them, and PCB designers as well for doing their electronic design. It should be no surprise to this audience that a vast majority of those customers use SolidWorks for mechanical design.
Thank you for that compliment. And now, how many of you here, you use some electronics in your designs? A lot of you, right? It's obvious. Almost everyone designs them. So our goal is to streamline the design process with this partnership so that our users, our mutual users, SolidWorks and Cadence users, can exchange data seamlessly, eliminating the miscommunication that happens and enhancing efficiency.
That's right. Imagine a single source of truth for the mechanical design and the PCB in a virtual twin. Our integrated products would ensure that all the design elements are always in sync, preventing errors and accelerating the product development cycle. And now, to give you a glimpse of that future, let's show you the powerful features of our integrated solution and the potential of our partnership.
Now, the process typically begins with some mechanical design of a housing, in this particular case, for that electronics. Otherwise, the PCB designer won't know how big the PCB should be. An X-shape is a perfect tool for that. You can create, using X-shape, your game controller. Now, in SolidWorks, we will design a bare PCB inside the game controller to reserve that volume for our ArcadX designer, as you can see that Sagat is holding in his hands, and then commit the design to 3DEXPERIENCE platform.
And now I can open the same design in ArcadX, Manish, and see all your intended mechanical features. I now know how much space I have to place all my components, and also where those key features like those joysticks have to go. Because we're part of the same single source of truth in the same virtual twin, I can identify all my design challenges much earlier in the design cycle.
And after you have saved your design, I just have to pull the updates from of that virtual twin on the platform to validate the PCB and make sure that it fits in the assembly. And now that we have our single source of truth, we can do some exciting things. For instance, system can be simulated with the electromagnetics engineer role to show radiation behavior to optimize our controller's Bluetooth antenna.
And at the single click of a button, you can push the bill of materials, the manufacturing deliverables, and the design files up onto the platform.
Then you can manage the unified bill of material, schematic, 3D, and life cycle of the project via the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. And it's not just about connecting our software. We are also offering Cadence customers access to the applications on 3DEXPERIENCE platform. This means more tools and resources at your fingertips.
And we are actually fostering collaboration. amongst the designers. Our integrated solutions enable the mechanical engineer and the electrical engineer to work together, blending their domains of engineering in an ideal confluence of form and function.
Indeed, Sagar, the ability to collaborate in real time and have instant access to each other's work, it will transform how products are designed and brought to the world.
And it is the cloud-hosted integration that enables such access and collaboration in real time with no bounds on the distance. It's a dynamic ECAD and MCAD co-design that's happening in close virtual proximity, regardless of the time and place where the design is accessed. And that's enabled by the cloud.
Exactly, and we are not just enhancing the tools our customers use, we are revolutionizing the way they work. This partnership is the future of electronics product design.
I really like that I never have to keep track of those files that I have to export. I like that the platform notifies me when a design changes. That ensures that ECAD and MCAD can never be out of sync. What else can we tell the audience today beyond what we have shared today, Manish?
I'm glad you asked. We'll be able to share rigid flex designs, perform advanced simulation studies, and have a common part library with part management capabilities.
Our joint solution simplifies the complete release and productization of the PCB and the bill of materials, because we are working, both of us, working from the single source of truth.
Thank you. Thank you, Sagar.
Thank you. And for an in-depth preview of our integrated solution, I invite you to be with us at the Cadence booth in the Partner Pavilion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Now, yesterday, we also announced another product, X Mechatronics, or 3D Mechatronics Creator. The world is transitioning from simple functional devices to multidisciplinary, feature-driven smart devices. And this technological revolution increases the complexity and efforts for designers and engineers. It becomes extremely challenging to manage the life cycle of the product that relies on multiple disciplines, such as mechanical, electrical, controls, software, and more. It is our job to give you the tools to engineer the next generation of mechatronics devices, and I'm here to give you a sneak peek into our future, into our plans. Cyber Mechatronics Creator will help you to deliver the next generation of smart connected experiences in a collaborative way powered by the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Today, this role is going to be available by invitation only. General availability is planned for later this year. Please see us in the R&D booth in the playground to know more and learn more about this. Now let's move to our next section. We are going to talk to you about our experience creation on the platform. So now let me introduce you to Chris Paliriani. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. All right. So in today's fast-paced and interconnected world, it's evident that product development doesn't just happen within the confines of an office. The demand for a design platform as flexible as our ideas has really never been greater. We need a solution that adapts to us, that works anywhere, anytime, on any device. Enter Solidworks Cloud, a dream come true for agile engineers like yourselves, who are reimagining the very essence of how we design, collaborate, define, and market product experiences. It acts as a catalyst for seamless collaboration and design excellence, offering a comprehensive suite of cloud-based tools optimized for any device, without the hassle of manual updates or installations. The platform fosters frictionless design, encourages efficient teamwork, and empowers you to create truly remarkable product experiences. Solidworks Cloud opens up a world of design freedom. The single modeling environment helps you gain a remarkable advantage of unstructured workflows. Say goodbye to upfront assembly planning or being bound by separate parts and assemblies. Here, you can form and dissolve just about anything. Parts seamlessly transformed into assemblies, and assemblies transformed into parts, all without the complexity of leaving your environment once. This dynamic approach gives you the freedom to innovate and adapt your designs on the fly. And the result is unstructured innovation. It's truly one of those capabilities that once you have it, you can't live without it. Now, design flexibility is really just the beginning. We believe that collaboration is the cornerstone of innovation. Real-time push notifications for updates ensure that everyone has access to the latest designs and is immediately aware of changes, and eliminating the complexity of manual check-in and check-out processes. Cloud-sourced data and simultaneous editing on an always connected platform keeps you and your team in sync, creating a dynamic environment where creativity and innovation flourish. Now, if you can't tell, we're all about maximizing your efficiency and productivity. So of course we have built-in data management to keep you organized and eliminate the fear of losing files. This means effortless revision control and swift design modifications without the need of cumbersome and messy local file management. With design and lifecycle integration, you can work in context of your complete product and release parts or assemblies all without disrupting your flow through the opening and closing of different documents. When it's time to bring your product experience to life, sharing has never been more straightforward with a single interface for all internal and external sharing. Conveniently empower your network of suppliers with connected external sharing, and supercharge the decision-making process with comprehensive round-trip collaboration between you and your crucial stakeholders. On the go, stakeholders get full access within their given permissions to review, mark up, and explore your designs in 3D Play with simple, intuitive navigation and model interaction. Now, remember when I mentioned reimagining how we define product experiences? Well, we've done just that by challenging the status quo that drawings and MBD have to live alone, and only one form of definition can exist within a company. We've combined drawings and model-based definition into a single user-friendly interface. This means one environment for both traditional drawings to provide that comfort and familiar process, and model-based definition for that intuitive 3D collaboration and downstream automation. Now, what's really more is as you define your drawing, the 3D product manufacturing information is automatically generated, creating a single source of truth. Yes, you heard that correctly, 2D drawings that drive 3D annotations, and vice versa, from 3D to 2D. You get to define it your way, just once. Whether it's in 3D or 2D, the choice is yours. This flexibility ensures that you can deliver the output that best suits the needs of your organization and your downstream network with zero additional rework. Now, the possibilities don't stop there. Whether you are working with the platform or on the platform, there's a solution for almost every design challenge imaginable. Take the challenge of 3D printing, for example. The amount of time and material it takes is often a barrier compared to traditional machining. One way this can be addressed is with CATIA Lattice Designer. Utilizing your Solidworks data, you can generate optimized, lightweight parts to save cost when using additive processes. The high-fidelity, watertight output is readable by any additive machine. With a simple solve, your optimized lattice component is automatically updated in context of your assembly. Now, you probably expected it to update, but I bet you didn't expect this. Users can actually make design changes on the fly in SolidWorks Cloud on any device and automatically regenerate the lattice structure without ever actually needing to open the Lattice Designer role. With CATIA Eco Design Engineer, you can ensure that your product meets environmental regulations while understanding the deeper impact that it has on the environment around us. From raw materials to manufacturing processes, Eco Design Engineer comes with a catalog of thousands of different activities to assess the impact and presents you with a scorecard outlining the environmental cost and carbon footprint your product will have throughout its lifetime. Now, let's face it, I trust everyone here is excellent at what they do, but there's always room for improvement. And the best way to optimize any product is through experimentation. With the same example on a traditional machined component, design of experiments lets you run virtual experiments with defined constraints and objectives to automatically generate hundreds of different design alternatives. In no time, you are presented with a visual breakdown of each alternative's performance, ensuring important interactions are never missed and giving you the confidence that your product is going to stand up to the test of time. Now, a product is never real until it's manufactured. So take your designs to the next level with Delmia. Elevate and optimize processes such as nesting for sheet metal, which includes easy-to-use toolpath programming, and best of all, zero data translation. From concept to production is really a beautiful experience that you should be proud of and utilize to deliver a memorable experience to your consumers. The artist-friendly 3D demonstrator role allows you to deliver breathtaking virtual experiences that invoke emotion in your audience. Consumers today want to connect with your product. They want to feel the difference it's going to make in their lives before making a purchasing decision. 3D Demonstrator does just that, giving you full virtual experiences to test, visualize, and market your products in new, never-before-seen, innovative ways. From reimagining design and collaboration to embracing sustainable practices and optimizing manufacturing, Solidworks Cloud and the 3DEXPERIENCE platform opens doors to endless innovation. So seize this opportunity. Reimagine your design process, and together let's shape a future filled with limitless possibilities and unforgettable product experiences. I would now like to introduce Chinlu Lama to speak about our amazing journey helping students and makers learn new skills and be ready for the future. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So we know that many of you are looking for talented employees that you can work with and learn with so that you can actually, we know that you're looking for talented employees to work with you and learn from you, and this is where we want to help you out. Every year, millions of students graduate from all around the world with Solidworks experience. And to make sure that they're ready for your employment, 60,000 students a year achieve one of our many industry certifications. And to take a first look at how this is working, I'd like to hear from Ben Newble, whose school has certified the most students out of all high schools in the United States. Welcome, Ben. So why don't you tell us a bit about the Cherokee Trail High School and why it's so special?
The Cherokee School District overall is a great place for teaching and learning. We get so much support from our VAR career and technical training and from our building and district leadership. Not only making sure we have what we need, but also supporting us in continuous innovation and making sure we have top-notch facilities like you see here in our Fab Lab.
Well, it looks like an amazing school. So how long have you been teaching SolidWorks?
I've been teaching SolidWorks for 17 years now. Our students have placed at state and national Technology Student Association competitions, and we also work with a program called NASA Hunch.
So
we really love at SolidWorks how it's helped our students prepare for their next step in their educational career.
It's a great point, preparing students for their next step. What do you feel is the most important thing for them?
100% without a doubt, achieving SolidWorks certifications. It's an excellent resume builder. Over the years, our school district has certified almost 2,000 students. Just at Cherokee Trail, we've had 14 CSWEs with more on the way. Oh, and one of our CSWEs that's graduating this spring, Josh Warren, has been accepted into MIT's prestigious engineering program.
That is so impressive. Congratulations, Ben. I've even seen some 3DEXPERIENCE certifications. How long have you been teaching with the platform?
We've been using the platform since COVID hit in March 2020. When school shut down and students were displaced at home, we had to adapt, and we had to do so quickly. The platform was there right when we needed it.
So which apps do you and your students use?
We use a lot of the X apps to varying degrees. We also use Solidworks Connector to help link our EDU edition to the platform. We use X-Shape with the Lego kit project I do with my first-year CAD students. My second-year engineering design students are using X-Shape at a deeper level to be able to make mini cars, aka Hot Wheels.
From your perspective as an educator, why is it so important for other educators to teach using the platform?
The platform allows me to virtualize my teaching, giving more tools to help connect with my students. Being able to use any device is key, as students still need to be able to learn when they're at school or home. Since it's a true platform, we're able to get students working together in a more collaborative way than we previously could. We're excited to be able to implement collaborative tasks later this year as well.
So while we were off stage, you were telling me about some pain points that teachers have as they teach. So would you mind telling us a bit more about that?
Sure. I love teaching. Course management takes up a lot of my time, though. Creating curriculum, sharing course materials, having students submit assignments, grading them, all using different systems.
What if I told you that all that and more could be addressed by a platform app specifically designed for educators?
Really?
Yeah, so with our new technology, our teacher app, you can capture, use, and reuse curriculum every semester while managing students much easier. Efficiently create courses and classes and invite students with the roles that you choose, just with a few clicks. You can also add course materials to each module, which automatically releases as you progress each week through your courses, guiding your students every step of the way. You can also make your life and your students' life better, students can submit assignments directly on the platform, and teachers can review, mark up, have feedback for those students privately. So what do you think?
That's amazing. Can I take that back to Colorado with me?
Well, we still have a few more things that we have to finish up, but it will be included in your EDU platform subscription later on this year.
Awesome.
So if you'd like to connect with Ben a bit more, he's going to be presenting at a breakout session aptly named Pirates of the Caribbean later on today at 1:15. Thank you so much, Ben, for all that you do for our future designers, engineers, and makers.
Thank you.
Speaking of makers, they're a really fun bunch. They're spontaneous, they're resourceful, and they are just very creative problem solvers. I like to highlight a few of these amazing folks, basically that exemplifies this awesome personality and quality. So by day, David is a successful engineer in the tech world, and by night, he's a woodworker and a granddad. So when his grandsons showed some interest in woodworking, he decided that this would be a perfect time to connect with them at a new level. Using Solidworks, he worked with them to come up with this amazing drafting table. And they took time out of their holiday break to work on this build together, generations apart, but connected with their love for making. They built skills and memories that will last them for a lifetime, and it's a great way to spend a vacation. And here's Rick. On his free time, he actually volunteers for Habitat for Humanity, which is a nonprofit organization that that basically help families in need to build and improve homes that they can move into. For an upcoming fundraiser event, they needed to create these epic centerpieces. So of course, Rick jumped onto Solidworks and wanted to formulate his vision. He wanted to capture the idea, all the stages of a build in a single sculpture that can be placed on the table. And he knew that having a 3D model could help him communicate this with his diverse team. With this team on board, he continued to create 33 instances of these masterpieces. These were such a great hit. They will be continuing to use this in future Habitat for Humanity benefit events for people in need. And these are just a few examples of projects and stories on our 3D experience, on our Made in 3D community. They're just a few examples of how every day makers are shaping the world all around them in very meaningful ways. So please go ahead and scan the QR code if you want to check them out. This is a Made in 3D community, and it is this passionate community that's inspired me and the following makers who have decided to do some amazing adventures in their making journey. And here to tell us more about it are my friend Jonathan Harrison and my partner in making and life, Sal Lama. Welcome. So Johnny, you're not a stranger to Solidworks. You taught yourself 10 years ago, and you lead a user group. Now you're starting to blog about your passion projects. Can you tell us what you're hoping to get out of these blog series?
Yeah, being able to make things on the weekends and evenings lets me have fun with Solidworks. Whereas during the day, I have to be very professional and accurate with it. When I started learning Solidworks, I remembered that it was helpful to begin with features like extrude and revolve. So for these blogs, I introduce simple features within Solidworks and create basic patterns so that anyone with common workshop tools can follow along.
I know, this is such an amazing way to teach makers new skills. And this year at the Maker Zone, we're also hoping that attendees will learn some new skills as well. You've been partnering with some other makers to bring us this incredible interactive experience. Can you tell us more about this?
Yes. So within the Maker Zone this year, we're giving attendees the opportunity to make their own robotic droids. I work with Matt Long to quickly produce a usable design, and we've created 4 chassis designs which makers and attendees are able to assemble, solder electronics, and race these around a circuit.
So, sorry, that's amazing. I can't wait to try this out. So hopefully you guys will get a chance to go to the playground and also build some droid for yourself. So thank you so much, Johnny, for all of the contribution you've made to our maker community. Also at the Maker Zone, you get to play with a one-of-a-kind puzzle box experience. Now this is your brainchild, Sal. Want to tell us more about it?
I'd love to. Thanks, Chinlo. We'd be willing to bet that many of you enjoy solving puzzles. In the Maker Zone, we built puzzle boxes that you can visit at the Our Next Make booth. These boxes have a very unique way of opening the puzzle. So you scan a QR code that will bring you to a virtual model that has intricate details on it to help you solve the puzzle. This is our easy box. There are a few more challenging boxes in the Maker Zone for you to try out. But this is just one of the examples of the projects you'll find on Our Next Make, which is a channel that aims to inspire people to make the things they want to see in their lives. In each episode, you'll see how you can use SolidWorks for makers to design anything you can imagine. And you'll learn maker skills to give you the confidence to tackle any project. To learn more about Our Next Make, please come to our breakout session on Wednesday. You can find posts about our projects and related files on the Made in 3D community. And you can watch our video content on these social media platforms. If you like what you see, we'd encourage you to consider subscribing and telling your friends about us, because we believe that there's a maker in all of you. And through Our Next Make, we hope to inspire you to let that maker shine.
So as a special bonus for this week only, we're further discounting our annual subscription to the SolidWorks for Makers by 20%. And at $39 for an entire year, this is cheaper than a battery you'll buy for your favorite power tool. So what are you waiting for? You should definitely try it out. And we can't wait to see what you guys will all make. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, thank you. Fantastic, really wonderful. What a day. Thank you, Manish, to the whole team. It was so fantastic to hear about the diverse parts of the SolidWorks community, commercial, education, makers, and electrical engineers. I know everyone appreciates this continuous innovation. And that actually brings us to our first break. So we're going to be back here at 1:15 to learn about how you can add simulation to SolidWorks to validate your designs and remove challenges through your development process. And we'll also hear from the simulation team, and they're going to give you some insights about how Acme Corporation actually made those anvils. It's very fun. And don't forget, the manufacturing team is in this room at 2:45, and we're going to talk about trends in manufacturing as well as updates on new solutions from Delmia and Delmia Works. So grab some lunch, and we will see you back here in this room this afternoon. See you then.